Well, I've seen other reviews of the kickflip, the Hobbyzone ECX Kickflip, and I figured I'd do my own little review. The first mod I did was I didn't have any extra foam tires, so I took some double-sided tape and wrapped it around the rear wheels twice, and that actually makes it a lot more controllable because it makes the wheels bigger in diameter, and it also gives it a higher top speed. But if you're running in on the controller, there's a fast and a slow mode, and then you have your trim for your throttle right here, and then the trim for the steering is actually up under like a new bright car. This really isn't hobby grade, seeing that I have a lot of extra Proto X motors, and I actually took this motor out to see if the Proto X would fit, and the Proto X motors are actually a little smaller, so I'm thinking maybe the Hobbyzone X4 motors may fit. I don't know yet. I'm probably going to order some. As you see, I have a little orange on my tires. I built a little ramp using my 1/8 scale short course truck, and just a piece of cardboard that I actually used to paint my propellers and everything. And then yeah, those are my 7-string and my 9-string guitars. But very cool little car. Lasts for about 5 to 10 minutes depending how hard you're pushing it. You got your on and off switch right there, your charging port. The way you charge it is, this takes 4 AAA batteries. You take your charging port on, and it has a switch on the back. You have on, which is red, and it'll blink until it binds. It's not bound to anything at the moment. I'll turn the car on so you can actually see it bound to the transmitter. See, it starts blinking. And to bind it, if it's blinking, there's a button that actually says bind. See that little button right there? Press it, they'll both start blinking. Sometimes what you have to do is shut this off, and then shut the car off. Damn it, where's that switch? Shut the car off, and then turn it back on. This is reverse of everything else I know, because you always turn transmitter on first, but this is really small, so you don't have to worry about it. But turn the car on and turn the transmitter on, and the car will immediately stop blinking red, and the controller will blink red for a second and then come on. Got plenty of power. I mean, you can actually see I'm completely spinning the rear wheels. Yes, I am on my bed yet again. It does not have proportional steering, but it does have proportional throttle, like you can actually see. Reverse is 100%, but going forward is actually proportional, as you can see. Let's try it again. Just give it a little bit of gas. And you can dial it in perfect using your trim. I've got mine just about perfect. And as you see, I got my little ramp built. I got to clean up the tires. But a very fun little thing for, say it's raining outside or something, or you don't feel like going outside and dealing with all the heat, or right now the pollen level around here in central Georgia is absolutely horrible. I have never had allergies in 29 years. This year I have allergies. I've never had them. So, very fun. $35 on the street, but I got it from my local hobby shop for $40. $39.99. He has to make a profit. I understand that. But the one thing I will suggest is make your rear tires bigger. And they say it does not have a suspension. The rear does have a suspension. There is actually a very small spring. That little metal coil right there is a spring, and you can actually see it moves up and down, and it's actually a live rear axle. And the funny ass thing is, it has a ladder bar, a very rudimentary ladder bar suspension, which I think is funny as hell, but it works. The front has absolutely no suspension. One thing I will go ahead and point out is if you have cats, you will have to remove your front wheels a lot to clean inside the hub, because it will not turn, because the wheels will be so hard to spin. And seeing that it's so light and so small, it doesn't get a lot of traction. But it's called a kickflip for one main reason. If you haul ass backwards, I'm not going to do it because I don't have room right now and I'm the camera person. But if you go backwards and then floor it, this is actually bent. The back is actually bent on purpose. Because what it will do is it'll come up, one side will hit, and it will spin. It'll kickflip like a skateboard. I used to skateboard in my younger days before my knees went to shit. And it actually, I've been able to do a triple flip one time. And about 25% of the time it'll land like that and just flip it over. Very fun. Especially seeing I have a 1/8 scale with a Castle Sidewinder, my Delta Ray, my Phantom, which is in the suitcase. I always keep it in the suitcase because it's the most expensive. It's got the Phantom, about 20 different blades, a GoPro, a bunch of different stuff. But this is a very fun little car. I can't wait. One thing I'm going to try to do, I don't know if it will work, but I have some brushed Pro 180 motors. And I'm going to see in time, if this motor ever goes out, I'm going to find a way to mount it. And first I'm going to see if the battery inside has enough, basically it has a very tiny ESC. It's very small. I'll take the top off so you can see inside. I've already lost one of these clips, but to make a new one, all you have to do is take a needle and bend it like I did, and you can actually see it doesn't look exactly the same. Where'd the other one go? See, everything's so small on this thing. Oh, there we go. The real one is at the top. The one I made is at the bottom. So, I just took a needle, cut the sharp end off, cut the blunt end off, and bent it till it looked similar to the old one. The only thing is, the original is made out of spring metal, and the one that I made out of a needle, is just metal. Some cheap ass metal. So I have to constantly take it, and you can see how tiny they are. I mean, they are absolutely minute. And the car itself, first the rear wing, I guess you would call it, comes off. I mean, it's nothing but a very thin piece of plastic. Then you have the car itself. The beat box and the kickflip uses the same chassis and everything. Ah, made in China. I didn't see that till right now. But the Beatbox uses the same size tire in the front and the back. But I like this one because I already have a short course truck, and it's a big one. And I love it, but it always pushes. It always has oversteer. This thing has a lot of understeer, especially if you don't add a extra foam tire, or what I did, which was add double-sided tape. I can't take the tires off because they're stuck on there, but you can actually see in there, that's double-sided tape. That's what that black stuff is. But you can see in the back the suspension. It does work. The steering. If you were to get if you have a better radio, a better transmitter, you could probably get the proportional steering to work, but the transmitter that comes is full left, full right, just lock to lock, which works, but it would be nice to have some proportional steering so you can do minute adjustments. But this works because I just use this around the house. If I'm going to go outside, I take that big sucker out. It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it lasts for a good 30-45 minutes. This lasts 5-10 minutes. Charge time, I've seen between 15 and 20 minutes. And to charge it, you flip it over. I don't even keep the charging cap on because it has to be charged so much. But you take your little plug, and you have a white dot right there, and you have a white dot right there. Just line up the two white dots. And I'm doing this through the camera. And then go over to your controller and flip it down. Green light will come on. As soon as that green light goes off, it's charged. And like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. Not a lot of time, but seeing that it charges in about 15-20 minutes, you get 5-10 minutes of play, and then just gotta wait. And that's when my other minis come in. My Proto X, I'll throw that up into the air and have some fun with it. Where's my other Proto X parts? Oh. There's all my Proto X parts. I got an ass load of Proto X parts. Motors, props, housings, motor mounts. I have 3 batteries for my Proto X, but I can't find them at the moment. Well, damn. I'll have to find those. I can't find them at the moment. But I'll just throw it up in the air and have some fun with it. But my next thing to do with this is I'm going to try to get this Pro 180 in there and see if it'll work. I know it comes with a 60 milliamp hour 15C battery. So the 60 milliamp hour battery goes dead pretty quick, but gives you plenty of power. I mean, if you, even on carpet, if you hold it to one side non-stop, it will do donuts very easily. If you can't replace your tires, just get some wet cloth and wipe them off. Squeeze them with the wet towel and you'll get all the dirt out. But very fun little toy, basically. Right now it's toy grade because there are no extra parts that you can buy for it, and that I do not like because I'm pretty rough on my things. Like, I mean, you can see the ramp that I've made, and it's jumped off that ramp quite a few times and lands most of the time upright, but I've had about 3 or 4 times where it landed upside down. No biggie, just flip it over. But that's how big it is compared to a Proto X. A Proto X fits on it like that. So that should show you how small this little car is. The Proto X is 42 by 42 millimeters. So I would call this about 84 millimeters long, about 60 millimeters wide. So nothing big. I mean, hell, it's a 1/32. What do you expect? But it's very fun. The transmitter and everything is up under this. You can take that screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw off. But when you do, you got to be careful because this whole ladder bar suspension will come off. All the gear, it has a gearing system right back in there where it utilizes 2 extra gears to reduce the spin of the motor, so you have a good amount of torque. But very good, very fun. Remember, you will have to clean out and take your tires off intermittently, the front ones, and clean inside the hubs where the damn it, focus. As you can see, I've already taken a pair of pliers, and you just grab that and spin the wheel back and forth and it'll come off. And if you have cats, basically hair will get caught in between the black part and the tire rim, and it'll make it so I was not able to turn right, but it would turn left all day. So I was struggling figuring out what the hell was going on, and then I realized, wait, I was at my grandmother's earlier and she has a cat. So I took them off, and that's what it was. And I've already taken the rear axle completely out. There's no bearings. All it is little plastic bearings. This is a toy as of now. It'll be nice if they supply extra modified parts, but for now it's just toy status because you can't upgrade it. I mean, you could add tires and stuff, but to do battery you'll have to unsolder the battery off the board because it's not connected with a connector. It is soldered directly. It's hard mounted to the board, but thankfully I know how to work on that stuff. And you'll have to get at least a 1-cell 15C. I'm looking to try to get a 250 milliamp hour 15C battery, so it'll run hopefully about 30 minutes, but that'll also increase the charge time, and it'll also drain these batteries a lot faster. But I always utilize lithium-ion rechargeable batteries, except the batteries that came with this, I figured, what the hell, I'll go ahead and use them and kill them. And then a lot of people think that you cannot recharge alkaline batteries. Yes, you can. They will just never be recharged back up to their full 100%. They'll maybe get to 75%, but you can recharge alkaline batteries. I've done it. I do it all the time, and it gives alkaline batteries 2 or 3 more lives once they die completely. So that's my review of the Hobbyzone ECX Kickflip. My fiance, she really likes this, but I want to get her the beatbox so we can drive together. Like, I'm keeping this next to it just so you can get an idea of how big it is. Let's go put it. I'll put this shell on real quick, and then we'll take it and put it next to the 1/8 scale, and you can actually see how small this really is. It is literally the size of one of the tires on my 1/8 scale. Kickflip. Hellion Dominus. My Hellion Dominus would crush this little thing. But very fun for kids. Seeing that it's only $35. If they can't master the little Proto X or something, which the Proto X is hard to learn how to fly. It's very jittery, especially having to learn how to control the throttle. and steer it at the same time. My fiance still hasn't been able to successfully fly it, and she has tried so many times. It's not her fault, it's just I went from the Phantom to this. I know you can't actually see the Phantom, it's in the damn suitcase. So I already understood the basics of quadcopter flight. Very fun little car. So, yet again, till next time, peace. Any comments, hit me below. Or questions. Later.